man dies in a car wreck. An onlooker then goes to his former employer and shoots him point blank.
As the case unfolds, Reyes seeks Mulder's aid in helping Doggett uncover just how this seemingly random case is related to him.
This is not happening.
Oh yeah, this is a spooky one. I'm going to use a lot of fire puns in this episode because I think it lends itself to it.
Be careful.
You think it's a problem with?
Well, no, I mean, you're using fire puns, and it sounds like you're crafting a theme. And fire was the episode where Irish Andrew came through, and that was a theme.
That was a great episode. What are you talking about?
I know.
Everyone loved it.
I got no problems. Go ahead, make your puns.
I've been waiting for. Is this the opportunity where I bring that back out? Should I?
Here it comes.
Get into character.
Get into character.
No, you know what? I'm going to save that for the season finale. I think it'll be much more appropriate to have an Irish theme in existence. I think it'll be much better.
Yes.
Well, no. Tonight we're going to talk about Empedocles, however you want to pronounce it. Episode 17 of season 8. Written by Greg Walker and directed by Barry K. Thomas. So this is one episode where they went outside the box.
Yeah.
It's not Kim Manners directing. It is not written by Chris Carter and Frank Spotnitz. What do you think of that? I mean, I guess they need a break, right? They've been working pretty steady for the last bunch of months.
Yeah, several episodes, a lot of bringing Mulder in. We've had at least 3 in a row where that's a big deal. And I guess you could call it all mythology. So, yeah, I mean, Chris Carter and Frank Spotnitz have had to do a lot of work this season.
Maybe they're doing some other show. I mean, they're piloting some new thing that they got to get out there.
Yeah.
Well, for whatever reason, Greg Walker, you've heard this name before. He's written some other scripts for us. Do you remember which those are?
I don't.
He wrote Brand X with Stephen Maida. And more recently, he wrote Surekill.
Nice.
So, I mean, we didn't hate those episodes. I'm sure this episode will be
Absolutely
great.
Not.
Because, the script is usually where things fall apart. And Barry K. Thomas, he has worked as an assistant director on the show, but this is his one and only kick the can as the full-time director. I feel like this could be one of two things. It could be nobody else was available, and they're like, we need somebody up there to helm this thing. Barry, do us a solid. And he's like, oh, all right, I'll try it. Or he's been desperate to direct his show, and he barely got it over the finish line. He's like, well, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could go either way, but I mean, maybe he just decided, I don't know, this isn't for me. I'm gonna go be in a circus.
That's possible.
Anything's possible, Drew.
That's right. Well, the name of the episode, Empedocles, you probably, like me, did a little bit of research on the name, did a little deep dive.
Please enlighten.
Oh, so you're telling me you didn't do the homework?
The homework?
You
Honestly,
got my messages that I mailed to you, right?
Yes. It was certified delivery.
Yeah. Empedocles is a Greek philosopher before Socrates. He formulated the theory of the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. And all you need to know is that none of that is at all relevant.
We need a name for this episode, and it sounds kind of neat.
It does. He's not Greek. Fire happens, but not air, earth, or water. So, I mean, good luck making sense of it.
You're forgetting the 5th element.
Love? Yeah.
Spirits.
Oh.
Hatred.
I thought it was love. That was not what Luc Besson told us in his movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, this is also the return, the big return of Special Agent Monica Reyes doing what she does best, which I'm sure we're both going to love.
Feeling. Yeah,
she's going to feel a lot. That's all I got to say before we dive in. So is there anything you want to say before we dive in?
No, I'm just, you asked me the question before we recorded, do I like this episode? And I think I'm remembering why I don't come back to this one as we talk about it right now.
As we talk about it right now on the X-Files.
Yeah, let's dive into it. I'm intrigued to see where this goes.
Let's burn it up. Let's set it on fire and watch it turn into a corpse.
Char it up.
Char it up. Well, we open in an executive office in New Orleans, Louisiana. A man in a suit sits opposite his superiors, another man and woman, while a head honcho gives the man bad news. It's the economy. I hate I have to do this. The guy, thinking he was just coming in for a performance review.
Firing me?
But you can hold your head up high, says the Grand Poobah. You've done good work. Which, of course, won't take the sting away from the fact that he's now unemployed. The woman gives some reassuring nods while the man stands up, signaling the end of the meeting.
I'm sorry.
Our protagonist, who we're going to learn is Jeb Dukes. He walks aimlessly through the office and leaves the building, heading out into the evening air. Suddenly, a Trans Am speeds past, pursued by 2 police cars, and crashes headlong into a truck in an intersection. The truck catches fire and explodes while Jeb looks on in disbelief. As the chaos unfolds, the man rushes to the scene, several cars now in flames. Jeb looks on helplessly, standing back with other bystanders, to watch the driver of the Trans Am emerge from his car and march straight towards Jeb. No one seems to notice the flaming pyre on legs other than our protagonist, and soon enough, the burning man steps up not only to the man, but inside him. The two joined briefly in a tower of flame that quickly extinguishes itself. The man's eyes burn and then return to normal as he looks back at the fire of the cars, now just a plain old regular car fire. He backs away from the wreckage and rushes away. Later, probably much later because he's in new clothes, back at the office he's been fired from, he returns. And he's hailed by the woman from earlier as Jeb. What are you doing here, Jeb? But Jeb marches straight towards the office of the exec who fired him. Jeb's got a murderous expression on his face, and when the exec sees him, he says innocently, "Hey, Jeb, what's up?" As Jeb brings up his pistol and shoots him, we cut to black. Boom, credits. Okay, Mike, what did you think of that opening? Did it get you in the fires?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I enjoyed it. I was waiting for him to go back to work, cut his finger, and then be told to kill people by a calculator. But
it's not that episode.
What this is telling me is that the X-Files says do not get fired at work because you will go on a murderous rampage.
Yeah, bad stuff will happen.
There's a theme. But
yeah.
As far as the opening, it's fine. I enjoyed it. It's obviously this is relevant somehow. So they needed to show us him getting fired and then the accident. So
did you get it though? He got fired. Too good. Yes, that was top drawer. What
I would say is, they actually broke out some stunt work and they wrapped a guy in a fire retardant suit for that, because that's pretty intense.
It is. I mean, that is old school stunt work right there. And some guy got a good day rate for that.
Absolutely.
I mean, the car chase itself, like they go whole hog.
Yeah. They put a camera inside the car for the impact.
Yeah. You could tell there's quite obviously a different visual quality to it. So it's like some handy cam they struck on, but that was great.
Excellent stuff.
Well, after the credits, it's a crime scene, 8:39 p.m. We see that the woman didn't survive Jeb's wrath either, as a close-up on her dead body is covered by a sheet by a black detective. This, Mike, is Ron Canada as Detective Franklin Potter. And fun fact, Ron Canada was born in New York City.
America.
Yeah. Potter stands up to see a woman emerge from the elevator and walk over. It's Monica Reyes, who Potter goes over to meet. Reyes reminds us she's an edgy smoker by opening up a Nicorette and chewing. And she's like, I'm trying to quit. But she quickly tosses it over her shoulder as the two go over to look at Jeb's work area, as Potter thinks there might be a satanic angle, which is, of course, the only reason you would call Monica Reyes. Potter reveals a folded series of images that his coworkers thought he had a dark side. I'm going to say that again. Potter reveals a folded series of images from a desk drawer, and he reveals that his coworkers thought he had a dark side. Reyes goes through Deb's stuff and explains that it might have not been that. It might have been some other things that brought us here.
The fact is, a killer like this is usually pushed over the edge by what we call a stressor.
A catalyzing event, an emotional breakdown, the breakup of a relationship, or sometimes when someone's been fired.
This guy was fired by the two victims.
Well, that's most likely what drove him to murder.
Yeah, but what about all these images, these devil pictures?
It's Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson?
Your kids listen to him. They probably buy his CDs at Kmart. I don't think there's anything satanic going on here, Detective.
Agent Reyes.
Okay. This is some rock group. But you don't think this has anything to do with Satan or evil or...
Personally, I'd look into his gum.
Oh, Monica. Well, unfortunately, that's the last we're going to see of Ron Canada. He does not appear anymore in this episode.
That was an unusual thing.
Yeah, I know. Usually they're a much bigger role.
You know his face. And
absolutely.
He's a lot of places. But yeah, I was kind of shocked that they didn't use him more.
Maybe he had a greater role and they just cut him right out of this episode. Didn't work it.
Oh, boy.
Who knows?
I thought he did just fine.
He was great.
My issue with this, and I'm not going to shit all over this episode.
Dude, you are entitled. I mean, how often do I tear a strip off these episodes? I'm waiting for some Mike payback here.
Well, no, I think my biggest issue, and it's not even a big issue, it's just, this is big city America. As far as it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, they're talking about satanic beliefs and ritualistic crimes and things like that, as if this is bumfuck Wisconsin, right? Where there's no one there. There's 3 miles, 30 miles, and there's not a soul in sight. This is a small little community of religious folk who really, really take this seriously. I have a hard time believing that they're going to call Monica Reyes because 2 people were shot and killed in an office building about Satan. It's like, I don't know. I mean, yes, this is America, and this is the freaking tip of the iceberg when it comes to killing people in public with weapons. We thought Columbine was a fluke. Apparently not. It was the beginning of a trend in a fashion statement, but we may have been less savvy back then.
Yeah.
But I don't think jumping to Satan is believable right now.
Well, the worst part is it's the Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Insert. It just shows poor old Ron Canada as inept that he wouldn't recognize this is a liner for a CD.
Right.
There's a story about Ron Canada's character we are not blessed with knowing.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, anyone who grew up with Marilyn Manson, especially in a Catholic household, you would know that there would be questioning of what this is. But I think the leap for a police officer in a city to go, hey, this must be Satan.
Yeah, it's pretty
and
bad.
not have heard of Marilyn Manson. I mean, this is 2001. He was big in the mid 90s. So it's like, come on. You know who this is. Bad writer. I'm sorry.
What it does is it makes Monica look smart. And it makes the cop go, well, I'm glad I called the FBI because
all it does is get her
me.
in the show. That's all it does.
Yeah.
It's just poor writing. And I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. I never apologize when I shit all over an episode.
Well, I certainly don't intend to.
You're an honorary Canadian with all his apologizing.
Yeah.
So as Reyes walks away, she passes near the body of the woman, noting something is off about the hand. But from our point of view, everything looks just fine, except the woman's dead. Suddenly, the woman's skin appears to burn away, revealing charred remains. Monica lifts up the sheet to reveal the woman is now a charred skeleton. When Detective Potter comes over asking if she's found something, we see that, in fact, Reyes is a crazy person, because when she looks back, the woman's perfectly fine. I mean, totally dead, but not burned to a crisp. So, Mike's favorite part, she's a superpower.
She's feeling.
Yeah.
She's feeling.
She is feeling hard. She is feeling the evil, and it's given the form. But it is a crucial plot point because this is going to come up a lot. This, what do you see?
I sense he's withholding something.
He's not being honest with his feelings. All right. Well, we cut to Scully's apartment. Are you ready? Because we're about to have some serious shipper interaction here. Are you holding your insides together?
I am. I'm ready.
Okay. Cut to Scully's apartment.
Sphincter is tight.
Get your tissues ready. So somebody's knocking on the door. It's Mulder. Scully was just about to get in the shower, but she was waiting for the pizza man, which leads us into a kind of innuendo we've been dying for. Mulder comes in, hiding a gift as they hang for a bit. Scully finds the gift. Mulder reveals he found it while going through his mom's stuff, a little keepsake, and he wanted her to have it. Finally, the pizza man arrives, who does, in fact, looks like he walked off of a porn set. While Mulder dickers over the price of pizza, $29 in 2001? I mean...
Right, for one pizza.
Yeah, I admit, that's a pretty special pizza. Scully cries out in pain, sending us into the usual tension we've been waiting for in an X-Files episode. Nothing nice can ever happen to these characters. All right.
I tell you what, they missed an opportunity there.
Oh,
Not
100%.
because this is a comedy show, but they should have had him be ripped and have like a one size too small shirt on. Here's your pizza. just blow past it. Just blow past it. Don't even draw attention to it. That would have been fantastic.
Well, they kind of they allude, but they do not go as far as they could. Again, that Abrams humor you're dying for is not appropriate in the show.
I know.
It's a different show. All right. Well, we're going to cut to Washington Memorial Hospital, where we're going to spend a bit of time in this episode. It's 1:42 p.m. Scully is wheeled in on a gurney, Mulder in tow. Her doctor's on the way, but Mulder and Doggett suddenly are both told to wait outside as neither of them are the husband. This nurse has got one job, and she does it. She informs people if they're not family, they can't come inside.
You will not.
She does it like 4 times in this episode. And this is time number 1. Reyes takes the opportunity to join the scene by phoning in to Mulder, and she introduces herself. She needs his help on a case. It has a certain phenomenon. For a variety of reasons, Mulder wants to beg off the case, so he tries to fob her off on Doggett. But she counters she can't ask him because the case involves him, which probably intrigues Mulder. Reyes reveals she's in New Orleans, but she could be in Washington real soon. It's important. Very. So Mulder relents, telling her to call him when she gets here. So you're on board with everything so far? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Cool.
I do question, not a complaint, I question Doggett and Mulder talking to each other now. It's like, the last time we saw you guys, you couldn't stand Doggett. But, whatever.
It's about Scully. They can drop.
I mean, it's
their
not like they're
shared
best
grievances.
friends, but...
Yeah. Don't you worry. They're going to work on dismantling whatever friendship they could have pretty good in this episode.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So later on in Livonia, Georgia, off the highway, Jeb, apparently on the run, looks at his gun nervously. He walks over to it with trepidation. He picks it up and aims at his head. He's clearly both nervous and terrified as he seems to build up the courage to pull the trigger. But suddenly, he's in pain, and he drops the gun, the metal of it red hot. His hand bubbles and smokes. Poor old Jeb is out of his element. But it gets worse. The skin on his face begins to crack, and he begins to peel it off in strips, revealing what appears to be molten lava where a human skull would be. He is, to put it mildly, freaked out. So, discuss CGI in 2001.
They should have cut to him clawing at his face. They should not have lingered on it for as long as they did before he even starts kind of tearing it off. Very, very noticeable that was fake, and you could see the strips really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a poor execution there, because not only do they linger on the prosthetics, they linger on the effects to the point where it's like, okay, the longer I look at this, the worse it gets.
Well, listen, it's 2001. So, first of all, give him credit for trying. and they got a budget to do it. So this
They
is
have
probably
a budget to do it.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park came out in 1993.
And yeah, it would have been better than this. Well, okay, but my issue is more about the intent of it. Like, there's some issues with what we are actually seeing. Like, is this a hallucination on his end? Because later on we see him and his face is just fine.
Right.
So clearly he can just, put the skin back on, or it regenerates, or
I think it's definitely implication of what's inside, what's underneath.
Yeah. So evil is fire, and he's full of fire is what we're getting.
Yes.
This is normally I would go into a bit of a diversion at some point, probably not here, but a little later when we know a bit more about the villain, to do a bit of a catalog of what the villain can do and why he's doing it. But to be honest, I'm not feeling it in this episode. Like, it just sort of meanders on, and he's just generally evil. So I don't care enough to even want to get into it. And this scene alone makes me feel like, okay, so it's magic and he can go between people. So, like, do I need to care about the whys?
We'll see.
I think you can guess how I'm feeling about this episode.
I think
generally,
you love it.
But yeah, I love it.
I think it all comes together.
It all comes together. Well, let's see if that's the case by continuing on. Later on at FBI HQ in Washington, Reyes goes through files in what appears to be an archives room, pulling out one and going through it. Mulder arrives and they meet in person. Mulder confused about how she knows him. Of course, she was there when they found his body. Mulder asks to cut to the chase, so Reyes does, showing him the case file on Doggett's missing son.
You were the lead investigator?
Once it fell to the FBI. Agent Doggett was with the NYPD at the time. We worked it together. We never caught the killer. It was the hardest case I've ever had. As in, stealing into the bathroom to cry my eyes out kind of hard. I can't begin to imagine what it was like for John. I couldn't bear to put him through this again. But if it means we could catch his son's killer, I just can't go to him until I know if what I saw means anything.
You said this case involves some kind of phenomena?
I don't know if it was a psychic experience or what, but when we found his son, I had a vision. It was as if, for just a moment, the body was changed.
Changed? Into what?
Ashes. It looked like ashes. The thing of it is, Agent Doggett told me he saw it too. Although he spent the last few years convincing himself he didn't. That even if he did, it didn't mean anything.
What do you think it means?
I can't shake the feeling that it's a clue. That it could somehow point to who's responsible if only I let it. And now I've seen it again. 1,000 miles from here, a seemingly unrelated case, and I've had the same vision. There has to be a reason for it. A reason it's happening now.
Does it? It has to be a reason.
It has to be a reason.
Oh my God.
Soon the writer will tell us what the reason is.
Yep.
Well, the reason it's happening now, Mike, is because the writers have decided that it's time for it to happen now, and there's no way the characters could know that, so we're just going to move on. We cut to Doggett, who's visiting Scully at the hospital. Scully's in a room, a heart monitor registering her breathing as she sleeps in a hospital bed. Slowly, Mike. The room fades out, replaced by a woodland scene. Doggett watching as law enforcement agents of all kinds run around the scene in slow motion. It's filled with smoke. The camera circles Doggett completely as he relives a memory, interrupted by a nurse who chides him for violating the rules that only immediate family can be in here visiting Scully. Stunned, he nods his compliance, but he makes no move to leave as we fade to commercial.
I'm convinced she works in a real hospital and she thinks this is actually happening and that the person in that bed is not related to this man standing here in the doorway.
And you can take your cameraman with you.
What is this?
Why do there 6 guys in here with mics and lights and
times do I have to remove you? This is a hospital.
This is a hospital, sir. Oh, dear. All right. Well, what did you make of Doggett's reliving the past business?
I'm okay with this kind of thing. Yeah. I like the slow reveal of his story, his little arc that he's got in the 2 seasons. But, you know, I'm fine with this. This part's fine. It's the... Yeah, we'll keep going. It's fine.
We'll keep going. Yeah, it's fine. Well, we come back for commercial. Mulder walking through the darkened halls of the FBI with a case file in hand until he is suddenly pulled into another hallway by an angry John Doggett, who screams at him to stay out of his life. Doggett is incandescent with rage that Mulder went behind his back to look into the case file of Luke Doggett, while Mulder tries to defend himself, that he was asked to look into it. Thankfully, Reyes is nearby to confirm it was indeed her who asked him to look into the connection between the New Orleans case and John Doggett. Doggett's confused, waiting for the explanation, and instead of me trying to explain it, I'm just going to go to another clip because it's good.
To what?
I was going to tell you, John. I was in New Orleans on a case, a shooting. Something that I saw connected back to Luke. A vision.
Not this again. You're not gonna make something out of nothing.
Bob Harvey. Does that name mean something or nothing to you?
Bob Harvey was a suspect in the death of my son. We questioned him, but then we realized he wasn't our man.
Agent Mulder pointed it out. Bob Harvey was killed last night in a car crash, fleeing the police near a shooting in New Orleans. He died in front of the building where the shooting occurred.
What's the connection?
That's it.
That's it.
And then there was the vision.
No, there's no connection. I don't care what you saw, you leave it alone. And you leave it the hell alone.
So that's our first meeting between... no, it's not our first meeting between Doggett and Mulder. We've met with them plenty of times, but this is our first real violence between them.
Well, he's just getting payback for Mulder pushing him back into the chair last episode.
Yeah, but Mulder went beyond the pale. You know, he went looking at Luke Doggett, which is... I mean, you could have had the same reaction if Doggett went looking into Samantha's case files, maybe.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
I don't know.
I mean, Doggett, obviously, he's high-strung with... He doesn't want anything paranormal to be tied to him whatsoever, so... I guess Mulder looking into that would be concerning especially because it's out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But
I do like that they don't let that just hang. They don't make it that Doggett's just an asshole. Like there is a reason behind this. And so I will give the episode credit for going there. But this does feel like kind of a forced confrontation for the sake of injecting some action. Mm-hmm. I don't hate it because they work well together. You know, it's a good scene.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to move on now. We cut to Silver Spring, Maryland. This is the residence of Katha Dukes. A little girl comes down the stairs to answer the doorbell. It's Agent Reyes, who wants to speak with the girl's mommy, Katha Dukes. Reyes introduces herself as Katha takes the girl into her arms, but she frowns at Reyes' introduction. Oh no, it's the FBI? Later, probably over a tea that Reyes has forced Katha to make for them, Katha gives us her perspective on what might have happened to Jeb. Katha is Jeb's sister. She can't believe he'd be capable of anything like this. He lived close by until he went to New Orleans, and he loves his niece. Katha has never heard of a Bob Harvey, which doesn't surprise Reyes. Katha's phone rings, so she goes to answer it. It's Jeb calling from a phone booth in Spartanburg, South Carolina, off of Interstate 85. Katha covers as Jeb tries to explain that it wasn't him, but ultimately Katha hangs up on him, telling him he'll have to call back later, leaving us to wonder if Reyes has figured out who was on the other end of the phone. Back with Jeb in the phone booth, a knock on the glass. A woman's got a flat tire and needs his help. Jeb looks conflicted, like maybe he will help or burn her to a crisp? ?
I think he's going to help her.
Well, you can think that. But I would like you to keep in mind that she has come to him for help with a flat tire. Keep that fixed in your mind. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we're going to cut to Doggett, again breaking the rules to be in Scully's hospital room. This guy, man, he just doesn't get it. I'm livid for that nurse.
Come in with a freaking paddle. She's going to spank him?
She's going to get armed and be like, listen, I got one job, dude. And you are
Get out.
very hard.
She's going to come in with a frying pan and just bang it together. Bang, 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 bang. Get out, get out.
Well, Scully wakes up seeing Doggett there, and he's pensive and brooding. He gathers himself, saying he just came by to see how she was doing. Scully's stabilized. Everyone was worried. Doggett starts to reveal his misgivings about Mulder, and he's wondering what brought her around to believe in the supernatural. Scully reveals that she realized she was afraid to believe, which is enough to trigger Doggett back into a flashback, back in the meadow with the officers and Reyes. Scully asks why Doggett is asking, but Doggett decides to flee instead, leaving Scully alone in her room. Now, I know what I just painted a picture of there was Doggett just like hightailing it and running away, a little smoke cloud, but he does it in a more cool Doggett way where he's like, oh, I gotta go. And he just walks away. I gotta follow the rules. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not your husband.
No.
All right. You got anything to say on that?
It's a nice scene. I do like that Doggett isn't... It's takes me back to the moments where Scully and Mulder have an argument. And I'm talking season 1, season 2, whatever.
Yeah.
Especially where Deep Throat's leading him down the wrong path with that photograph, right? And Mulder's convinced. And he takes it to Scully and she pokes holes all over it. And they have their argument. He's believing what he believes. And she, she's using science. And then in the very next set of scenes, Mulder's actually taking her advice, right? So this feels like Doggett had his big blow up at Mulder. He realizes something could be happening. He's questioning it himself. He's having these memories of when he found his son dead, and he's coming to Scully to open the door just a little bit. Be like, am I crazy? That kind of thing. So I enjoy it. I appreciate that aspect of Doggett in this episode.
Okay, no, I go with that.
It's that time, everyone. The Magus Media Production sales pitch. Please check out our homepage at magusmediaproductions.net so you can stay up to date on all of our shows. Check out our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Magus Media Productions, both of which have our Discord link on it, where you can join us for live shows as we record them for future release. At Magus Media Prods on X. Our Patreon, patreon.com/Magus Media, where a $5 donation will help us keep the lights on and bringing you new content, and you get some stickers. Thank you for your consideration and support.
Let's go talk about Mulder here. He's back in the X-Files office. He looks quite at home behind his desk as Reyes arrives looking for Doggett. Mulder confirms this is not his office, it's Agent Doggett's now, but old habits die hard. Mulder has been looking into cases like those Reyes has described, but nothing has come of it. The visions are so random as to have nothing to do with the crimes with which they're associated. But Reyes, she's pulling a Mulder. She disagrees, offering a delightful, if familiar counterpart to Mulder's assertion. For once, Mulder's the one who doesn't believe there is something supernatural at play. Mulder jokes there's an opening in the office coming up and Reyes should apply, and then begs off to visit Scully. Reyes pounds home the point that the office needs at least one person with an open mind. So that's where we're going to go with that. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we're going to head back to check in on Jeb, who's wandering around the backwoods with his gun, looking quite out of sorts. He finds a minivan, the wheel off. It's up on a jack. Clearly the vehicle of the woman he met earlier. Yes. Looking at his reflection in the windshield glass, he sees the background in flames, letting us all know he's a baddie. He gets in the van, tosses the woman's bag out the window, and drives off as we fade to commercial. Mike, what did I ask you to remember not 5 minutes ago?
Flat tire.
Okay.
I remembered.
You did a very good job. So what does that imply? Like when he just drives away, is he driving away on the flat tire, or she managed to do all the work, or I think I have it. She went off to get help to do the flat tire, but while she was away, somebody else came and did the tire change for her. A good Samaritan, as it were.
Oh, so you're saying that they never got to changing the tire. Maybe he did help her.
Why is he wandering around the woods aimlessly and finds the van? That's clearly how that scene is set up.
No. No. I will give the episode this one. I think you're digging too hard. You're trying too hard.
Okay.
I think he helped her.
Yeah.
There was obviously internal struggle with him, the way he looked before when she was summoning his help. He helped her, took her into the woods, and killed her because he, couldn't control himself.
But that whatever is very important. Why?
Very much.
Why? Because he's evil, I guess, right?
Well, that's the idea. Yeah, he's something that the fiery demon that walked into him is making him do these things. It's not like part of a master plan, I don't think. He's very much along for the ride, I would say. So,
yeah.
He's still himself,
I accept your
but
version of events because it makes better sense than what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think he helped her, but things went awry.
Had to kill her. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to come back to the crime scene of the woman in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Doggett arrives on the scene asking Mulder, already on the scene, what they're doing here. In fact, it's Reyes who called them all out there, thinking that his victim is connected to the others, that Jeb Dukes is involved, and Reyes wants Doggett here to see if he can see what she can see. Doggett, of course, isn't buying any of it. There is no connection. Except when he looks over at Reyes, she's standing next to officers who look at the corpse exactly as Doggett had seen in his vision in Scully's hospital room. Reyes asks Doggett to come over, and we finally see the woman's corpse shot in the back. Doggett apologizes. He doesn't see it. Reyes challenges him on it, though. Reyes challenges him on it, though. He does, but he's just afraid to go there. She asserts that Doggett would rather blind himself to the connections, but she can't.
You're just afraid to go there.
Man, you just keep shooting until you hit something, don't you?
You'd rather blind yourself to the connections, but I can't.
Keep talking about these connections. Connections to what? To who?
What if this is a thread of evil? Connecting through time, through men, through opportunity, connecting back to you. In India, in Africa, in Iran, in the Middle East, in the Far East, most of the world, they take it as a given. They see evil and death the way other people see God in a rose.
I saw Elvis in a potato chip once.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. I do. But if this man doesn't see it, he doesn't see it, right?
They end their conversation with significant glances. We cut to Mulder checking in on Scully, clearly having dodged the nurse. We learn that Scully has had a partial abruption, which means that her placenta started to tear away from the
I think I had one of those this morning.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. That's a burrito you had.
Oh. Oops.
Well, the doctors are going to monitor her, but she's going to be just fine. Mulder takes the opportunity to touch Scully's baby belly, and they get to share some smiles. Mulder reveals he's been out in the field with Doggett and Reyes. Scully reveals she likes Reyes, who Mulder dryly notes is nothing like Scully. Mulder's been working on the case of Doggett's son, which Scully notes Doggett doesn't really talk about. We end the scene with Scully noting that Doggett is worth helping. All right, so we're laying out our cards on the table. Our characters like each other, don't like each other, but they're all good people. I'm kind of surprised at the relationship they're trying to craft between Reyes and Scully. I mean, I guess I fundamentally don't like Reyes as a character, so I guess I'm curious as to why anybody else would, but it's just me.
Yeah. It's hard because I don't hate Reyes. I just don't.
You don't hate her, but you don't like her.
I like her enough to watch the 9th season. I don't dislike the 9th season. I think it's good. I just think they play up this whole feelings thing, this empathic stuff.
You are such a creature of the 90s. They talk about their feelings all the time, Andrew. Why can't they just play some Metallica already? Jeez.
What? I'm not hey, whoa. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you can't have emotion. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about feelings like extrasensory perception here.
I'm just teasing you. I know what you mean.
I did want to just note, by the way, that scene doesn't end with significant glances. It ends with, and I feel bad for Mulder in this moment because he's actually trying to help Doggett, and Doggett through his eyes is like, maybe I'm flipping sides. And it's like he can't win.
Yeah.
Mulder can't win. He's trying to help Reyes, and then he's trying to push her back because Doggett's uncomfortable with it. And then Doggett kind of flip-flops, and he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I can't help you people. This show is past me at this point.
I'm going back to T-1000 land. We cut back to Katha Duke's residence, little Mia going upstairs to play. As Katha takes the groceries to the kitchen, she encounters Jeb, who has finally made it to her place. Jeb says he's coming home, professing his innocence. Katha notes some blood on Jeb's face, and he doesn't know how that got there. Mia decides to come by, excited that Uncle Jeb is here, and her presence warms his heart, sets the fires of his belly alight, as it were, much to Katha's disdain. We got back to Doggett, investigating Jeb Dukes. Reyes shows up, and Doggett reveals he's looking into the case, but Reyes insists he's looking in the wrong way. There are 100 agents in the building who can do a phone canvass. Doggett rightly pushes back at the assertion that they should just use mental telepathy to try and find some clues. He's working the only way he knows how. She wants him to be honest with what he saw that day, with his feelings. But while he notes that feelings don't solve cases, she presses him on his feelings about his son, and he wants to believe he did everything he could do to find his son, to save him. If these other possibilities that Mulder, Scully, and Reyes are talking about are real, then that's something else he could have done to save his son.
That I like.
Well, Reyes' phone breaks the tension for us. It's Katha, who reveals that Jeb Dukes is there. Doggett announces that Jeb has something to do with his son, and he's going to find out what it is. For God's sake, it's an actual clue. So he's going to go and follow it up. So that is kind of my favorite part of the show so far.
Very good. Very good.
Admission from his part. He's been badgered so much by Reyes that he finally is willing to discuss it, and why he is resistant to it.
These are the best moments because of the feelings, Andrew, because he's opening up. He's vulnerable.
That's right. We're seeing the real John Doggett.
No, this is believable. I believe that this could happen where
absolutely
he's such a hard head when it comes to spooky things that he is now, okay, I can't take it anymore. I have to, because I do believe that his son's death obviously is eating at him, and he wants to believe he did everything. Because he's a by the books guy. He is a get it done kind of guy. So when he couldn't save his son for whatever reason, if this is now on the table or these possibilities are on the table, then I believe that would shake him. And he's displaying that. I like that.
Here's what I'm going to say about John Doggett, and that I have always liked the attitude he takes of, I'm on the X-Files and I understand that you think there's a supernatural component to it, but I am here to act as an FBI special agent. I am going to prosecute the offenses that I can prosecute. I'm going to gather the evidence I can gather. I'm going to chase down the suspects who I think are responsible for crimes that have been committed, because that's my job. Mulder clearly goes beyond that. It's like he's so willing to investigate stuff that is way outside of the FBI remit because it is scientifically fascinating, and ultimately because he thinks there's a course of action which gets him his sister back. That's his sort of plot arc.
The more I watch Doggett and the way he reacts to things, like you're saying, and I do agree with everything you just said, the more I watch him, the more I think he out-Scullies Scully in the first 5 seasons of the show. And what I mean by that is she is very much, I believe in science, this is the way we should think, and, but I'm going to go with you anyway, Mulder.
Yeah.
He is very resistant to that, and he is, get the facts. This is how I'm going to do this. I'm not going to just make these leaps. I'm not just going to go along with it.
Yeah.
I think they do a good job of painting him that way in season 8, at least. So,
but I guess what I'm chafing at is this idea that he's being harangued for not being open-minded.
Well, that's such a Reyes thing to do.
Well, it is.
God.
I think there is, like, the perfect amalgam here would be in Twin Peaks, Agent Cooper. Who is an FBI agent and understands the law in his role, but he also
open.
is able to explore the supernatural to get information which leads him to the things he needs to do as an FBI agent. So that, if anything, is Doggett's blind spot, is insistently denying the opportunity for the supernatural to do anything. Now, we have seen plenty of episodes that he's been in so far where the supernatural clubs him over the head and, he manages to survive it and ignore it, I suppose. But, that is his area for growth, I suppose, is to acknowledge that exists.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else are we going to do here? Oh, we're going to cut back to Katha's house where Jeb reads a bedtime story to little Mia. Katha comes in to interrupt, asking Mia just to join her. Just come on over here, baby. Just come here. But Jeb sees right through it, demanding to know who's here. Katha reveals it's somebody who just wants to talk to help Jeb. But Jeb doesn't see it that way, holding Mia close and aiming his gun at Katha. He tells Katha to get out, while Mia legitimately begins to freak out. And I am going to give mad props to that child actor. That is the best child acting I have ever seen, like constant and annoying. Like she makes no bones that she wants her mommy. She's not into this whole thing. Great performance.
Absolutely.
Almost too great, one would say. Well, he begins to flee, but he's cut off at the stairs by Doggett, holding him at gunpoint. They aim guns at each other, but Jeb has his child hostage, which is right where Doggett lives. So Doggett lowers his gun, and it looks like it's the end for Doggett as Jeb freaks out. But a shot from upstairs takes down Jeb. Reyes has snuck in and ambushed Jeb, and we fade to commercial as Doggett screams for a medic. I guess they came prepared. Oof, there was a scene and a half. What did you think of that?
It's good stuff. I mean, it's a nice little conclusion to the episode. I'm intrigued to see where they go because we do still have a little bit of time left.
Yeah, there's 14 minutes left. That's a lot of time.
Obviously not the same as catching him at the halfway point, but similar.
Yeah,
we have more introspection to do, I think, which is, I was happy to see it kind of open up this way.
Yeah, me too. Well, we are going to go back to Washington Memorial Hospital, where Jeb is wheeled in, still alive. The nurse, having exactly one job to do, prevents the agents from accompanying Jeb, but since there is actually a family member present, the nurse gets to do her job, taking Katha to fill out some paperwork. And Mike, the more I watch this episode, the more I realize I want to see a show about this nurse. I think there's a real lost opportunity here.
What's her name?
I don't think she even has a name.
No, let's make her name. Let's give her a name.
Excellent. Is she Gina?
Ajita?
Gina.
Gina. She could be. I was thinking Trudy.
Oh, Trudy. Didn't we have a Trudy before? Wasn't Trudy in charge of travel management?
Was it? I forgot her name.
It's been a while since season 4.
Oh, man. They haven't really done some crazy exploring yet.
No, they haven't.
Traveling in a while.
Boy, we've really dropped some of our made-up plot threads.
Yeah.
Maybe she's a Tammy.
Tammy.
Yeah. Nurse Tammy.
Yes.
The adventures of Nurse Tammy preventing people from entering the hospital.
You will not enter this room. Are you family?
You shall not pass unless you are family. That's going to be good. I'm going to watch that. Tuesdays at 8. All right. Well, lost my place. It's just too good. I'm imagining that show instead. Okay, so here we go. Reyes assures Doggett there was nothing else he could do, wondering if saving the girl was the reason all of this happened. But now there's nothing to do but go home. Well, he doesn't go home. We check in on Scully, asleep in her bed, and Doggett's returned for another brooding visit. It seems Scully's hospital room is the only place Doggett can have his visions, returning to the meadow with Reyes in slow motion. This time, it's to view the body of his son, Luke. Doggett does see that, in fact, Luke is a burned-out husk. And he's interrupted by Mulder. Doggett reveals Jeb Duke's status, and Mulder calls him out on whether Doggett is wondering if there's a connection. Here is a really long clip of Mulder talking, but it's been a while. It's been a long while since we've had a Mulder monologue, so here we go.
And now you're wondering if there really was a connection? And when I first came to work at the FBI, I worked at violent crimes. And I saw the worst of humanity. I saw monsters. And I'd wonder how they became that way. how these men became so evil. You know, there were psychological explanations, victims of their environment, victims of their parents, but those scientific explanations were never truly satisfying. I began to think about evil like a disease, you know, that goes from man to man or age to age. Most of us walk around thinking that we're incapable of any acts of evil. And we are. You know, we can stifle that momentary urge to kill or to hurt. We have some kind of immunity to it. But I think it's possible that there's an occurrence in somebody's life, a tragedy or a loss that leaves them vulnerable, hurts their immunity to evil. And all of a sudden, at that point in their lives, when they're weakened, they're open to evil, and they can become evil.
If that were true, then what you're saying is this man we wheeled in here tonight is infected with evil. The same evil that killed my son. You really believe that, Agent Mulder?
I'm not really a good test for questions like that. I'll believe almost anything, you know. But the pisser is you may never know. It may be like Agent Reyes says, it could be random and meaningless who it affects, who it goes to.
What if it isn't?
Well, then you'd be seeing something that I don't, Agent Doggett.
With that, Doggett leaves, and we return to Jeb Dukes in the ICU with Katha. Jeb begins to convulse, his heart monitor racing, and it doesn't look good for Jeb, who flatlines. A doctor rushes over, and Mike, do you recognize this doctor?
Tasha, yeah.
Yar.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Denise Crosby, a.k.a. Tasha Yar from Star Trek The Next Generation, and she comes over because she is also a fully trained doctor. She administers some life-saving techniques, which end up failing. Time of death, 10:57. Katha is distraught, as everyone except Reyes leaves, sticking around to offer some comfort, but as Karatha correctly points out, Reyes is the one that killed him. This fills Katha with rage. A flash of fire in Katha's eyes reveals the evil has transferred into her body. As Reyes walks away, Katha reaches down for a fire extinguisher, smashing Reyes over the back of the head, killing her instantly. Katha quickly searches Reyes for her gun, finding it and going out for the kill shots, but Doggett's there, rushing inside to struggle for the gun, eventually wrenching it out of Katha's hand. For the second time in the episode, Doggett calls out for a doctor, and Reyes begins to rouse. I guess she's not dead after all. Whoops.
It just explodes.
That would be the end of a character.
Cut to the scene from Roland with the tape everywhere for brain pieces.
Well, Doggett assures Reyes it's all over now, but Reyes sees it for what it is. The writer is going to make sure that his villain sticks around for as long as possible as we fade to black. Well, did you want to talk about that dynamic ending there?
I'll talk about Mulder and Doggett. I think it's a really good scene between them.
Oh, yeah, I did pass right over that. Go for it.
No, I think it's fantastic. And I think it is a way for these two characters to get some understanding of each other. You know, Mulder's not insane, as Doggett may have thought up until this point. And he certainly thought at the beginning of the episode. He doesn't want anything to taint his son's case. You know, that is off limits. And he doesn't want some kook looking through it, looking for fantasy. So this was a good scene to have for them to kind of understand each other a little bit. And Mulder even relents a little bit, and you know, Doggett is the one saying, what if I see this? And Mulder's like, well, then you're seeing something that I can't, which is a really, really cool way to put it. And it's a symbolic way, fire, passing the torch to Doggett, in the sense that, you know, I'm on my way out. I'm not saying that, but you know, you being this man of science and law and physics and reality, if you can see this, maybe this is something that even I can't see. So that's an interesting way to kind of pass that torch. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, I liked it too. It's finally we've got a real scene between them. It's not just violent. It's nice to see it.
Yeah. As for Katha,
That's what I asked you about, really, but go ahead.
A little too on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't need it. And her little, becoming a robot and then must kill.
My issue is that the transformation of Jeb Dukes into the villain was done in such an epic style. The explosion of fire.
Yeah,
and the guy
they didn't even
over.
attempt it.
No, just like a little bit in the eyes, and now she's that guy. They should have had another dramatic, climactic special effect to get that.
Right. They should have had her like touching his hand or something, and a fire erupts from it or something that only she could see, or something. And I'm not saying they have all the money in the world, but it's just so non-committal.
I mean, it is, and it's like it's over in 40 seconds, and it's just like, oh, okay. The tragedy that has now just befallen that family is intense, but for the punchline of Reyes being like, nope, it's not over.
No, Katha or the little girl has no mommy because she's going to prison for assaulting an FBI agent in a gruesome way. That was attempted murder right there. So
100%. Yeah,
she's not getting off easy.
Well, we got 2 denouements to get through, which tells me this is a more amateur writer compared to the more experienced staff writers. We've seen this before in other shows where we have this series of denouements where we check into different characters. But because one of them is Scully and Mulder, I guess we can forgive it. In that one, we see them about to enjoy a pizza together. I'm going to say that again. In that denouement, we see Scully and Mulder about to enjoy a pizza together, and they crack jokes about her regular pizza man. Mulder brings out the gift that wasn't opened at the beginning of the episode, and Scully finally gets to open it, revealing a cute little doll. She loves it. But then Scully gets real with Mulder. The doll's not the real gift that Mulder's given her. It's courage, a gift that Scully hopes she can pass on. So I guess she's linking back to what she talked to Doggett about, why she could end up believing in the supernatural, because she's no longer afraid of it. Would you share that sentiment? Or?
Yeah, definitely. She definitely closed the loop on her discussion with Doggett there.
Yeah.
And I think that's Mulder's role in this, is to just help people be open to paranormal things.
Yeah,
so...
Yeah. But that's Reyes too. If that's not Reyes, what's Reyes doing in this show?
Sensing things.
She's feeling things.
She's getting beaten over the head.
She's going to be off work for 6 weeks with that.
I don't feel so much.
I don't feel anything anymore. I just feel numb. Well, we fade into the next denouement. This time it's Doggett, standing outside a security door where he checks in on the restrained form of Katha Dukes, lying in bed and staring placidly at the ceiling. We linger on Doggett as we wonder as he does. Is this where the evil truly ends? Or will the writer get a chance to pen a sequel? And that, Mike, is where the episode ends.
All right. Great episode. I loved it. It was not confusing.
No, not at all.
Actually, it really wasn't confusing.
Compared to some of the mythology stuff we've watched, this one was pretty straightforward.
What?
Yeah.
No, yeah, this one was fine. It was.
Well, give me your final thoughts there, Mike. What do you wrap it up for me?
I mean, surprisingly, watching it again for this show, it actually had more to it than I typically remembered for it. So I would say that it's got a lot of good scenes with Mulder and Doggett. Despite it being led primarily by Reyes, I don't hate it. It's a kooky little premise, not really one of their better ideas to have evil be the thing, and a little bit tenuous. I think it's okay. So they had to kind of start the whole arc for Doggett. They kind of touched on it many episodes ago, but they needed to hit the ground running, and this was that. As far as Bob Harvey being a suspect in his son's kidnapping and murder, it feels a little loose to me. I think it's really pushing the limits of getting these agents on this case. And going through this whole episode. This whole ordeal was manufactured by a car accident.
Yeah.
Halfway across the country. So, okay, whatever. And because Reyes saw Luke as dust, she now flies to Washington, D.C. to tell John about it because she saw him as a charred corpse, or her as charred corpse, whatever.
Yeah.
Just, it's a lot to get here. And that's fine. I mean, it leads to some good stuff. Some good Mulder, Doggett, Scully stuff. I do enjoy, again, Doggett kind of grappling with what he refuses to believe or shouldn't believe in his head. I think that's really good stuff for him. It's something for him to chew on. And I really appreciate the scenes between those three characters a lot. So,
yeah, that is the strength of the episode, I think. I mean, the big attraction here, of course, is this is kind of the first real appearance of David Duchovny back in form. I mean, he was in the previous episode, but there was a lot of adjustment. Like, I guess you could say there's still some here, but you get a sense that he's doing what he is used to doing. You know, this is more actual work. It's not just stuff being victims of circumstance. You know, they actually get to do things. Do I like the episode? I mean, it's not bad. There are a few red flags for me to get upset about, but not many. As a concept, it's a bit strange. It veers quickly into magic realism. An evil fire spirit possesses people and seemingly causes them to act out their worst impulses. I mean, I guess so. There's a huge amount of coincidence, as you point out, involved to put Jeb Dukes in the orbit of Doggett and Reyes. But if it allows the Luke Doggett plotline to advance, so be it. You know, it's been toyed about with us that this is there, so let's finally get into that. I actually really like the interplay between Mulder, Reyes, and Doggett. There's some great friction there, which provides some motion for the plot. The resolution is a bit shaky. At least we don't have a moment where Katha Dukes is just dying for a cigarette, so that's fine. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's not terrible either.
Fair enough.
Well, Mike, I don't think there's anything else to say about it. I mean,
really not.
Yeah. So there you go.
It was an enjoyable episode.
Lovely listeners, that is our episode. And Mike, as is our tradition, I am going to give you the final word.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you witness a traumatic and fatal accident of any kind, not just a car crash, not just a fiery car crash, be careful. Be on the lookout because there is a fire demon waiting to take you over. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you liked what you heard, please rate and review on your podcast app of choice. Andrew and I would be eternally grateful to you fine people for helping us expand and get the word out. Also, we've got a killer group on Facebook. Feel free to join in on the discussion at facebook.com/groups/thisisnothappeningpod and become an official member of the syndicate. We do polls and we have questions for every episode to give you guys the opportunity to chime in and possibly let your voice be heard on our recordings. And please join us on our new Twitter at TINHXFilesPod, no dash, to stay up to date on everything, moment to moment. Thank you, and remember, don't stop swimming.